Hi there, Elevated Planet community. Here we are back again with John Drew and Jole Gabrielle. We're here to follow on from the past video specifically, which was to do with the root chakra, where we explored that in quite some depth. And it was quite fascinating, really, because I learned a lot along the way as well. And I was very fascinated by things like the ancestral wounds that quite often, we all have issues with that, which we have no idea about, and how those can actually be a very healing process. And one of the things we finished with was that the next step in this was to focus on a meditation, which enabled us to focus on the first chakra, which is that root chakra. And then we got talking about this and saying, well, okay, since this is early in the series, really the first thing we need to talk about is what is meditation? Because that's something which not everybody practices. In fact, many people don't. And I remember when I first started doing this not that long ago, and I remember what a challenge it was to a large extent. So the what is meditation question is the first one that there goes out to Jole.
Meditation is really, in my view, another word could be called co-creation. What you're doing is you're trying to bring calm and peace into your life. And you're also trying to focus and get clarity on the next steps. Meditation, we always think calming, woosah, I need to calm down, meditate, breathe. But there's a whole other aspect to that is a creative part. And what I do is called creative visualization. So that takes meditation to like another level. It's like meditation on steroids, because when I used to meditate in the past, I think the reason why it was off-putting for me was because my mind was still wandering. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Breathe. But I'm thinking about other things. But when I found creative visualization paired with meditation and breathing, that was when I really began to see a difference in my life. So my version of meditation is a chakra meditation. And what your mind is doing is it's visualizing, imagining, creating, working to help you in real time and tangibly, as well as intangibly, remove and resolve traumas and bring in more of what it is that you desire in this life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting because when I first started doing this, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and it, for the longest time, the ability to focus, because of the way we live our lives in the westernized world in particular, we tend to have very active minds, and there's always something going on in there. And the more you try to quiet the mind, the more all sorts of junk comes in there that shouldn't be there. And it took me a long time to realize that what I had to do was kind of quiet the mind, but focus in one way or another. And I think you do find your own way. But the fact is that to help people to get there, to understand these principles is very important, because it can get so frustrating that people kind of, how many people have I ever heard saying, well, meditation doesn't work for me? Well, if I could quite easily have given up after the first 4 or 5 or 6 attempts, because I think, well, it doesn't work for me. My mind's all over the place. I got this monkey mind situation going on, as they call it. Therefore, it's not for me, and people give up on it. So I love the idea of the visualization, because if anything that gives you a focus, which enables you to stay honed in a positive way, has got to be a good thing. So I'm fascinated to find out more.
You know what's so interesting, John, is that you talk about the how. People really don't understand. Like, I think part of the reason why people don't move towards it more, or if they do, they wind up not keeping the habit, is because it's asking you to deal with nothingness, Right. And it's talked about for the human mind to deal with that. So what happens is when you give the mind something to do and you help it to see its way through something, that is the truth in the meditation for me. You should get up from a meditation with an answer or a direction or a new way of saying things or a new way of being. And if, you're not to expect that every single day, if you're an everyday meditator, but you get closer to those breakthroughs. They happen faster. Things begin to speed up in your life, the good, when you are practicing a spiritual meditation. But the thing is how do I meditate? Because for some people, that breathing thing is just not going to do it. They can go outside and they can work out, and that is their form of meditation, and they breathe hard, and they leave that meditation or exercise with an epiphany, or those endorphins have kicked in and they've magnetized something new. So that's another form of meditation. Nevertheless, for a healing type of meditation, it's best we learn how to get to work on our systems and on our soul architecture, so that we can remove and resolve the past and bring in more of what we want. And that takes intent. And that's what the meditation that I do it's an intentional meditation, and it is the same. It does not change. It just, you can grow it, meaning you can add new things as you learn about elements and crystals and all these things. You can begin to add that into the meditation, but it is the same. It deals with our energy centers, and there is a specific step-by-step technical way that they get cleaned, they get balanced, and they become healed.
I love that. And, you mentioned obviously about visualization and use of imagination and how important that is. And I always remember the Albert Einstein quote, who said, imagination is more important than knowledge. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. And, how did he discover the theory of relativity? Was he in a laboratory or something? But no, he was laying back in a field in a meadow, staring up at the sky, and it came to him. Because his mind was conducive and that energy was out there and he received it. But to your point about to focus to receive a healing, that is when you do need a degree of focus in a more specific direction. It does make a lot of sense. So yeah, I mean, that's fine. I love the insight in terms of this step by step and visualization to heal and all this kind of thing. How do you want to take it forward?
Well, first, I want to explain some technical aspects of the best ways to meditate, because some people think that, I can just do anywhere, yeah, you can become advanced and that happens. But when you are a beginning meditator, it is best for you to focus and concentrate by being in a very quiet environment. You may hear natural sounds around you, but in a space that's comfortable for you, in your most comfortable chair, in a comfortable place in your home. You want your feet flat on the floor, because you are dealing with something intangible, or you're going to be leaving your body possibly. So you want your feet flat on the floor so that a part of you remains grounded. Palms face up on your thighs, because what we want is for energy to flow, and there's chakras in your hands. So with the meditation that we do, there will be energy pouring from your hands. Therefore, you don't want anything crossed, legs or arms. You want all things to be open and willing to receive. The second thing we'd want to do in order to visualize in the highest and best way for ourselves would be to close our eyes, right? So we want to make sure that we can dip into our own world by closing our eyes. And that is a great way also for us to begin to learn how to meditate. And also we want to be aware of staying present. That is the most important thing. So the first meditation or thing that you want to do is make sure you bring yourself back into your body. And we'll teach about that as well. And grounding. So that's where you usually begin. And then you will bring back your energy, be present, and then you work on these centers, clearing, healing, and bringing in more of what you want.
Right. So with all that said, do we want to progress with this right now and give something a go?
I think so. I think we should give a little bit of an idea briefly of meditation and what it can look like. So if you would mind, flowing along with me right now for a quick grounding meditation. So all it requires is, like I said, you want to put your feet flat on the floor, palms face up, and you want to just begin to breathe with the rhythm of your body. Just catch that. The rhythm of your body. You can keep your eyes open, no doubt about it, but just how does your body breathe? Is it shallow? Do you hold your breath? Are you rapid paced? If so, just try to get into coherence with your heartbeat. That would be a great place to begin. Try to tune in to that heart chakra and give it over to your heart to let you breathe in your lungs. You know, check in with them. Do you ever check in with your heart and your lungs? No, because you're not taught to. So take a moment. Feel your heart beat. Feel your lungs breathe. Now sync them together. Now that your heart and your lungs are synced, let them do their job. Say thank you. Please continue to stay in sync. I'm taking my awareness to between my sit bones. So I'd like you to bring your awareness to between your sit bones. And at the base of your spine, there's a sacrum and there's a coccyx. And if you can I'd like you to imagine this energy, wispy, light. It is only energy. It's not dense at all. And imagine your spine extending down through the chair, through the floor, through the dirt. Now the core of the earth is approximately 6,300 kilometers or about 3,000 some odd miles down. So this grounding cord is going to go down and you're going to see, just take your time. You see the nourishing of the soil. Maybe you see some bones, some shale, some pyroclastic, metamorphic rock as you are in the earth's crust. And then you start to pick up speed as you enter the ocean and the other part of Mother Earth as we go down from the lithosphere and we move down into that Marianas Trench. And as we go down, we see the convection, we see the subduction, the stalagmites, and then we see the glow-in-the-dark fish, and we keep going down, 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 down until we pierce the bottom of the ocean. And we are now in the asthenosphere. And we keep going down and we start to travel at the speed of light as we hit the upper core, and then we hit the lower core, and then we hit the inner core of Mother Earth. And our grounding core, that spine, begins to grow roots, and it roots itself into Mother Earth. Feel what it feels like. Take a minute as your heart and your lungs are synced, breathing and beating in tandem, and your spine has extended down and it's rooted itself, grown roots into Mother Earth. Now you are grounded and rooted. And now check on your grounding cord and command that it be 6 inches in diameter from the top all the way to the bottom. Commune with Mother Earth. Tell her thank you. Give her gratitude for all that she has done for you. She has fed you, she has clothed you, and she has given you a place to live and nourished you. Pour gratitude into her. And so now, we're going to clean off this grounding cord. So what I'd like you to do is imagine in your mind the same type of cleaning utensils you would use to clean your home. You're going to use the same ones, but they're going to be golden and rose shaped. Why? Because roses are the universal symbol for transforming negative energy into positive energy. And they're also protection. Just look at the rose. It's extremely beautiful, but you have to touch it a certain way or it will prick you. That is why, because although it's our energy, we have boundaries. So now I see a can of beautiful rose-shaped can, golden, scrubbing bubbles. And I spray that on the inside and the outside of my 6-inch in diameter grounding cord. And then I take a scrub brush of my imagining that has bristles on the inside and the out, and I snap it around my grounding cord, and I watch the scrubbing bubbles and the scrub brush, both golden and rose shaped, clean off my grounding cord, spin all the way down, taking the same path that I used from my grounding cord. So you're just going to see the same things on your way down. As you see anybody else's energy, anything you're ready to let go of, anything you're ready to release, any lack, limitation, poverty consciousness, washing off that grounding cord. Because it's only been conditioned and programmed into you. At your core of your essence, there is no lack and limitation. There is no desperation. So you're cleaning off all that conditioning, all that programming, all those beliefs that no longer serve you. Resolving and dissolving. And when you get down into the core, you're going to see those scrubbing bubbles bifurcate or separate and clean off your roots. And that one big scrub brush turn into several and clean off those roots as well. And any excess, and they go down into the core of Mother Earth, they sizzle, and then they turn into life force energy for anyone to use. So feel what it feels like while you are in sync, your heart and your lungs in rhythm, and you are grounded and rooted into Mother Earth with the grounding cord that is clean and clear, 6 inches in diameter, connected to your spine at your first chakra. And now, I'd like you to bring your awareness to the crown of your head. And I want you to open your crown like the lens of a camera. Use your imagination. It has to feel right for you. How? I can't see. Well, can you feel? Can you hear? One of those three you can do. So utilize that. Hear it open. What does the lens of a camera sound like? Opening. Hear that and open your crown. What does it feel like? Feel that and open your crown. And you're going to now see the Creator as you envision him or her, the goddess, above your head, placing a golden sun, a beautiful, loving, prosperous, abundant golden sun, beaming with the color yellow that resonates with you, or gold, pure, unadulterated gold. And you're going to see the Creator, Goddess, pour this into your crown as it goes down that channel in your body. Feel it. Ooh, it feels so good. And then it starts to pour down the inside and the outside of your grounding cord. Make sure you take these visualizations to their end. Watch this golden essence straight from the divine, filling up, pouring down the inside and the outside of your grounding cord. And just as it goes down, it's like your grounding cord is lighting up like ding, 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 just with the gold, the beaming of the gold, the reflection of that gold. It feels so good, so warm, so nurturing, so loving, all the way down as it moves down the lithosphere. And it sees all of what you saw before. And then it starts to pick up speed, and it's in the asthenosphere as it goes down, 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 bifurcates, separates, goes down your roots, and any excess goes into Mother Earth. And we give her that divine life force energy, knowing that we are the conduit between the divine and Mother Earth at this moment. And we can give her all the beautiful divinity and gold light that we absorb and the excess of that. So feel what it feels like to be grounded and rooted into Mother Earth with the grounding cord that is 6 inches in diameter, clean and clear and filled with gold light. And your heart and your lungs are in sync, breathing and beating with grace and ease, there to serve you, to keep you healthy, to keep you strong, and to keep you in the present moment. So we ground so that we stay in the present moment, because that's where the point of power is. The past is gone, the future is not here. What we have is this moment. So feel what it feels like, again, to be rooted and grounded into Mother Earth. And when you are ready, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and you can open your eyes. All right, how was that?
Wow. That was good.
Good.
It's a weird thing, and it's a sensation that I've become familiar with in terms of the crown chakra thing as well. Like, when I focus on that opening thing, I just get this massive tingles that just goes all the way around here. I remember the first time it happened, and I thought, is that a brain tumor? Is that something which is I'm going to die from very soon? But there was no pain, but it was just this massive tingling sensation around, and I could feel that so strong then, and I felt it move down through my body. When we're talking about them feeding down into the root, and I do think that's part of the challenge, if you like, in terms of being able to meditate with a degree of ease, is that visualization. I'm 100% with you, because it's not easy. Like, coming from a left brain existence over many decades working in the finance industry, for me to stop and visualize this stuff, it seemed, it was a challenge. But now I can do it with a degree of ease. But that was beautiful, because it was just that rush of energy that came down from the crown and through my body and down and out, and the whole cleansing process. I felt that was really good. I enjoyed that.
Thank you. You see how they talk about this is intangible, right? It's not something you can feel, or it's not right in front of you. It's not 3D, but yet and still there was something very visceral and very tangible about that moment, right? Just like they're very visceral and tangible about stress, trauma. So meditation sort of helps us to soften up that trauma, those experiences in our past, so that we can let them go and fill them up with things that we want. Because like I said during the meditation, a lot of our problems and traumas comes from our conditioning and our programming. But at our core, our soul architecture, we are all those things that we want to be, or else we wouldn't have that desire. How do we get there? I'm talking about the positive things. Somebody's aspiring to be a serial killer. I'm not talking to you, right? You need chakra meditation on a 8-hour basis a day. So I'm talking to people who are, running on, a little bit of normalcy here. But like I said, that type of thing, I don't want anybody to take it for granted or to think that it's hodgepodge, because you experience stress, and then that begins to manifest as self-sabotaging behaviors and quirks and things that make us seem awkward. But yet and still, we think that this is all woo-woo. But we honor the negative, but we forget about what the positive can do for us. So hopefully through working with Elevated Planet, and we can imbue and instill some of these positive other sides to some of the things that we're dealing with on a regular basis, the tools and the applications of that.
Yeah. And I think this is one of the curiosities that I've had to get used to, is the fact that, you know, thought carries energy, right? It's kind of almost like its own living, breathing thing. And the more you are immersed in stress and fear and the rest, you know, the more you bring that into your reality, and it gets stuck. But it's so easy to reverse it. So once you realize it's actually very easy to reverse it, I say easy, I mean, it takes some work.
Yes, yes.
But nevertheless, we can reprogram ourselves. We can reprogram ourselves to get towards that joyful state, you know, the tip of the pyramid that we talk about, right? That joyful existence, because there's many people out there, and we've all been through our moments, right? Definitely all been through our moments in life when it's been anything but joyful. But the reality is you can get yourself back to that joyful state through focusing your energies in the most positive way possible. And it's a magical kind of thing. And it's just the weirdest thing. I couldn't have believed this 4 years ago, but now it's kind of become part of reality. But the way that you led me through and the community through that, to me, it was beautiful. You know, it definitely makes a difference. Thank you.
I truly feel blessed to know this information, and I want to share it. Now, when I learned it, and I always want to give credit, the Reverend Judy Nelson, amazing. When she taught this to me, I took an oath that, you know, I can't write this down. So this meditation is something that has to be, it's an oral tradition. And I consider myself to be that divine griot that's here to help people and pass this down from generation to generation. So it is a blessing to me. And I humbly appreciate anyone joining in on this, because this is a truly ancient tradition that I was chosen. You know, I felt like I was on my knees crawling to her, you know, by that time. But I learned it and it's changed my life. And I hope that other people will allow me the privilege to teach it to them.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jole. Truly appreciate it. And this is the first step of many that we're taking here. This is chakra number 1 that we've tackled, and we've still got plenty more to go, and plenty of stuff beyond that to keep us going as well. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And, you know, I would say again that if there's anybody in the Elevated Planet community that ever has any questions, then we're available for you. You can use my email address, johndrew@elevatedplanet.life, or Jole Gabrielle @elevatedplanet.life, and we will certainly respond to you. Jole is also available for readings, so feel free to explore that as well, because we can arrange that for you on either of those emails, and we can take it from there. One final time, thank you very much, Jole.
Thank you, John.
And thank you very much to our Elevated Planet community for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you more in the not too distant future. So from me, from Jole, love and light.